Hello everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, what we're going to focus on is solving an equation. First case that we're going to look on is case 1, and it has an equation containing addition sign, right? So let's look at example 1. So example 1, we have x plus 3 is greater than 12. How do we solve it? First thing that we need to do, we need to make x the subject of this inequation, meaning that we want x on one side of the inequality sign, right? So in other words, we need to transfer this positive 3 to the other side of this inequation symbol or sign. How can we do that? We're going to do that by doing the opposite operation, which is to subtract 3 from both sides. How do you write that? This is how you would write it. So note on the left, we already have x plus 3. So you write back your x plus 3. Then we are going to subtract 3. Then we put back our symbol, put back our 12, and then subtract 3 on this side as well. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do it to both. What are we going to do next? We are going to simplify, right? So if we simplify, note here that plus 3 minus 3, that's 0, and 0 plus x gives us x. And 12 minus 3 will gives us 9. So what we end up with as our solution is just x greater than 9. So let me show you how you would write your solution set. So you write your solution set using set builder notation. So here, this is just a mathematical statement. Note, for equation, we only have one value as our solution. For inequation, we have infinite number of values for our solution. So we have more than one values, in other words. So here, we can also represent our solution set on a number line. So let's look how we would represent our solution set on a number line. So the first thing that you would do, you are going to locate the number that is here, which is 9 on your number line, right? And after we locate 9 on our number line, we're going to use what is called a closed or open circle. Now, what is an open circle? It's just a circle that is not shaded. And what is a closed circle? It's a circle that is shaded. Now, when to use an open circle? We use an open circle when we have the sign greater than, or we have the sign less than. So in this case, we are going to use an open circle. So let me show you how you would do that. So here, this is where 9 is. We're going to put an open circle above the line that represents 9, which is this line here, like that. Now, the next thing that we need to do is to draw an arrow on our open circle, whether to the right or to the left. But how do you know where exactly to draw that arrow? Again, go back to your solution and read. So here it says x is greater than 9. So greater than 9 suggests 10, 11, 14, and so on. So which means that when you look at 9, the number to the right is 10, which means that it is greater than 9. And if we continue, the next number would be 11. So it means that the arrow should draw towards the right. So this is how you draw your arrow here. And that's how you would represent this solution set on a number line. Note it continues to positive infinity. Now, what we're going to do from here is to look at a second example. So the second example that we have is just x plus 2 greater than or equal to 7. Yes, the principle remains the same. Again, we're going to make x the subject, meaning that we want x by itself on one side of this inequation. So we need to transfer this positive 2 to the other side by doing the opposite operation, which is to subtract 2 from both sides. And this is how you would write it. So note, all you will do is to write back what you have and then just subtract 2. So we originally had x plus 2, right? Then we subtract 2, put back our symbol, put back our 7, and then write subtract 2. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you must always do it to both. Then we're going to simplify. When you simplify, what you will end up with is just x is greater than or equal to 5. Now, we can also represent this solution using a solution set. And this is how you would represent your solution using a solution set. So this is the set of all x's such that x is greater than or equal to 5. You can also represent your solution set on a number line, right? So here, for this one, we're going to use what is called a closed circle. Why though? Because it says x is greater than or equal to 5. So the closed circle indicates whether or not the number is a part of your solution. So let's represent this on our number line. So the first thing that we need to do is to find where 5 is. Note that 5 is right here. Above the line that represents 5, we're going to put a closed circle, right? Like that. So there is our closed circle there, right at 5. Then the next thing that we need to do is to put an arrow. How do we know which direction we should put the arrow? Go back to your solution set and reread what you wrote. So it says x is greater than or less than, greater than or equal to 5. So greater than 5 suggests what? 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. So note that we are going in this direction to the right. It means that the arrow should draw to the right. So let's put on our arrow here, and the arrow will go towards the right. And it continues. So what's the difference between this one over here, the first example, and the second one? Note, this bold circle is suggesting that 5 is a part of the solution. This open circle is suggesting that 9 is not a part of the solution. So that's the difference between a closed circle, which is just basically a shaded circle, and an open circle, a circle that is not shaded. All right. Now, what we're going to do here, we're now going to look at some more examples. Let's look at 2 more examples. Example 3, we have x plus 5 is less than 15. The principle remains the same, the steps remains the same. Make x the subject. And again, we look at what we have. We have a plus 5. We're going to do the opposite operation to both sides, which is to subtract 5 from both sides. This is how you write that. So you will end up with this x plus 5 minus 5 is less than 15 minus 5. At that stage, you're going to simplify. And this is what you will end up with, which is just x less than 10. Because what? 15 minus 5 is just 10. And 5 minus 5 is 0. So 0 plus x is just x. Now, what we're going to do here is to represent our solution using set builder notation. And we call that the solution set. So remember, you just use 2 curly brackets, put the x in there, use 2 dots, and then write back what you have here as the solution. And then this is read, the set of all x's such that x is less than 10. Now we can represent our solution set on a number line. So I am going to do that for you. And again, it's not difficult. It's whether you're going to use an open circle or a closed circle, and you just need to be sure that you draw the arrow in the right direction. So let's give you a hint. We're going to use an open circle because there's no line underneath the sign. So that's one way you can look at it. There is no line underneath the sign. It means that you should use an open circle. The first thing that we need to do is to locate where 10 is and put an open circle. This is 10. So we're going to put an open circle just above 10, and that's it. That's our open circle. Then the next thing that we need to do is to determine the direction of the arrow on our open circle. So go back and reread. It says x is less than 10. What are the values on this number line that are less than 10? We have 9, 8, 7, and so on. So the arrow should draw to the left. So this is how you should draw your arrow, and that's it. That's how you would represent your solution set on a number line, and you are finished. So what we're going to do now is to look at our final example for this video, which is example 4. We are now given x plus 1 less than or equal to 7. The principle does not change. We need to make x the subject. So that means we want to transfer this positive 1 to the other side of this symbol. How do we do that? By doing the opposite operation, which is to subtract 1 from both sides. And this is how you would write that in your book. So it is x plus 1 minus 1 less than or equal to 7 minus 1. Then at that stage, what you're going to do? Simplify. When you simplify, what would you get? Note here, 1 minus 1, that's 0. And 0 plus x will give you x. Here you put back your symbol, and then 7 minus 1 is just 6. So that is your solution. And then what we're going to do is to write our solution set. And it's pretty easy using set builder notation. Let me read it for you again. The curly bracket means the set of. These two dots means such that. And you know that this symbol here means less than or equal to. So if we read it in one go, it would be the set of all x's such that x is less than or equal to 6. Then what we're going to do, represent our solution set on the number line. Now, let's look at the sign. The sign has a line underneath it, suggests that we should use a closed circle because 6 is a part of the solution, right? So the first thing you will do is to find 6. So 6 is right here. You would put a closed circle just above 6. So that's your closed circle there. And then you need to decide the direction. It says that x is less than or equal to 6. So less than 6 would be 5, 4, 2, and so on. So your arrow should draw in this direction. And that's it. So that's how you represent your solution on a number line. All right. Thank you for watching, and do enjoy the rest of your day. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share